the support for Barisan Nasional in Johor especially is very good. The enthusiasm towards the opposition, especially Pakatan Harapan, is not as good as in 2018. So we are sure that this coming election, Barisan will be supported better than before. The outcome of the election in Johor and Melaka may be an indication of what the result will be. But that is for the state of Johor and Melaka, because every state has its own issue and challenges. We don't have any trend to back on at the national level. But taking into consideration what the result of the Johor state election and the Melaka state election, I believe that that will also be repeated in other states nationwide. Actually, from many who at one time are not keen to vote and register, so I believe that this segment of the voters will still continue not to come out to vote, because voting is not compulsory in Malaysia. So if there is, if we can predict, maybe it will never go beyond 65 to 70%. If you compare in the 2018 general election, the total percentage of turnout is more than 80%. But I believe this time it will be not more than 75%. All the parties have to take effort to try to woo and make the young voters understand and support them. So it is not that if you are young voters, automatically you will vote for a particular party. So it is a free for all for every party. So Barisan Nasional is doing its bit in order to garner the support of the young voters. If you can look at the result of the Johor state election, we can see that many of the result from the young voters, Barisan also enjoy a sizable amount of support from the young. We will look into increasing the competitiveness of Malaysia at the regional and national level, so has to propel new strategies for our foreign direct investment. And we have to rebuild and regain confidence and trust to attract more investment opportunities. That will be on the macroeconomic challenges. The next thing that we need to look into is on addressing the economic inequalities and poverty. You know, as a result of the pandemic, it has magnified the number of the poor, those who are affected by that, and therefore there is a need to look into our social protection, whether it need to be reformed or otherwise. Both countries need each other, and we have to prosper together. So there is no harm in trying to encourage more connectivity with Singapore. There are things which Singapore can contribute and complement, and at the same time there are things that Singapore requires from Johor, like human capital and all those things. I will support any move by the federal government to revive the high-speed rail. I think that is one area in which we can show that Malaysia and Singapore, we are within one economic region. It will bring both economic benefit to both countries, and there will surely be a good and better increased exchange of goods, services, people between these two neighboring countries.